This was built specifically for advertising purposes. So I wanted it to be really quirky and ear-grabby and fun and slightly kind of just outside of the norm. There's only 4 or 5 tracks here, 4 or 5 instruments. So starting with the drums. And you notice it's just kick and snare with no hi-hat. Leaving the hi-hat out leaves a ton of room for other instruments and a voiceover in a commercial. Let's check out the guitar stem. Okay, so that's like the main idea, and I have one guitar riff happening on the left side of the stereo field and another one kind of on the other side of the stereo field. So we have, and like, you know, Hans Zimmer would say, we have an answer and a question, or sorry, question and then an answer. So the question is over here. This is the question of the conversation, right? And then this riff is the answer. So that's providing some life, you know, a conversation piece, a musical conversation piece that's very simple. And I wanted to show the guitars without this amp turned on. So, you know, if you're sitting there in your room and you're practicing these riffs without an amp on your electric guitar and it goes meow, meow, it's going to get good once you start. Definitely when you run it through an amp, and definitely when you're starting to add delays and reverbs and distortion. I also added a drum beat that I made on Cherry Audio's CR78 emulation. Everyone hopefully knows the CR78, you know, the drum machine that Phil Collins used on In the Air Tonight. And that sounds like this. So very quirky sounding drums to layer over the acoustic kit drums that I did. Let's listen to both of those together. So a lot of energy coming from those main drums with that percussive drum machine going on behind it, and not a lot